Skip, that ain't a mistake. When you place this, that's not a mistake. When you continuously do something over and over, that is a conscious act.
I'd say.
Dum-dum. You can't bet on NFL games if you are a current NFL player.
That has been made harshly clear, like fear of God clear to every player.
Okay, if you're a golfer, Skip, golf is the one sport you can bet on yourself. Phil can go bet on himself. Brooks Koepka or DeChambeau, you know what? I'm going to put $100,000, I'm going to win the Masters.
Okay.
You can do that.
Because it wouldn't get you anywhere to throw the game.
Yeah, that's you.
It's your game.
Thank you.
Okay.
Skip, I'm confused. And I get it. He's making what, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. What the hell is he doing? Supplementing his income? You betting $25, $50. Skip, remember we had a conversation last week. I said, if you in law enforcement and you're really, really good, you work for the federal government or you work for one of these sports agencies. So what do you think these betting houses, the FanDuel, the DraftKings, and Bet MGM and Fox Bet? Hold on. I don't know. NFL. I don't know if this guy's a current NFL player, but there's a guy like Isaiah Rodgers, I think his name is. And there's like 25, 40 bets popped up. What's he betting on?
Okay,
NFL
but
game.
Through it's an
app on his phone.
But it's through an accomplice.
Hold on. I'm like, are you bored? You can't bet, Skip. Who's it? Alex Karras and Paul Hornung. They got suspended for a whole year. You just saw, well, clearly, this happened before because you just saw a couple of guys, like 5 or 6 guys get suspended for 6 games. Some guys got a year. Some guys have gotten released. Skip, I'm confused. Skip, what is it? I'm confused. What makes you think that Skip, I got access. I'm just sitting in my locker. I ain't got nothing to do. You know what?
Yep.
I'm going to take my home throw for 255.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the under. I like the Jags. Yep, go that. That's what I'm going to do right here while I'm in my locker.
Okay.
You like old Skip talking about he like the Cowboys and they say they're going to win. I'm going to go ahead and put me $50 on the Cowboys.
No, that's a bad idea. Yeah.
Really, Skip? You are current NFL. Skip, there's a reason why it got harder and harder for people to really fix the games because there's so much. The players are making so much more money.
Yeah.
When the guy was making nickel and dimes, okay, you gonna pay me more than what the salary I'm making. Okay, maybe I'll think about it.
Yeah.
But these guys making $20, $30, $40, $50 million, and this dude $25, $50. So are you? So what you do with the money that the Colts pay you? Are you selling your money? He must be selling hundreds for 20s and 5s. Because this makes absolutely no sense to me, Skip. Make it make sense.
I can't. Let's take a quick look at Isaiah Rodgers. And for his sake, because this is being so widely reported that he's just being investigated, for his sake, I hope he did do this because he's going to be condemned one way or the other because his name is now out there as being investigated.
Skip, he said it. He said he made some mistakes. So why would you tweet it, Skip? If I ain't got no, what am I tweeting?
Okay, thank you. Look at his quick background here. Went to UMass. At UMass, he was first-team All-American by Pro Football Focus. And I think that's a pretty big, I know they're not recognized. It's not like the Associated Press All-American team, but he was chosen first-team All-American as a cornerback and a kick returner.
Okay.
He ran 4.27 at the combine, 4.27. Okay, so he's got serious kick return speed. And as a rookie, he took one back 101 yards for the Colts. He has graduated up the ladder, and he was positioned to be their starting cornerback next year because Stephon Gilmore went to Dallas.
Yeah.
He's got 2 kids. He's 25 years of age. He's going into his final year of his rookie contract, which is 3 years, $3.4 million. So it's
that good money.
Okay, it's good money. It's not like huge money, but listen, if you become the starting corner and you perform, you can make some really good.
There are people that have 2 kids, a wife or a girlfriend, a significant other, and take care of 2 kids on less damn money than what this dumb make it.
You got that right. Okay, so the NFL has cracked down so hard on this that they school everybody in the organization, including all the employees. Cannot. You players cannot. They school them differently than they school the other executive type employees up in the front office. Cannot.
When you were you remember when you used to go into the locker room, Skip,
Yep.
and they had that big old sign.
Big old sign.
No gambling, no betting on NFL games. They're probably still up.
It's up.
He probably walk by it every day.
Every day.
He got to walk in the building. He got to walk out the building. He got to walk to practice. So he's seen that sign, and he said, "You know what? That ain't talking to me."
Okay, and to add to your list of Paul Hornung and Alex Karras, this is going way back. Joe Namath, people do know Joe Namath now because of Aaron Rodgers in part, but I knew Joe Namath very well. He got suspended when he was a Jet because he was hanging out at a known mob hangout called Bachelor's 3 in New York. And it's just because of the association. For those who don't remember this, you can go all the way back to what's called the Black Sox scandal of 1919 in baseball, and they made a great movie. It's one of my favorite sports movies called 8 Men Out. I highly recommend it. It's about the Chicago White Sox of 1919. They're really good. They were on the way to the World Series, but they didn't make much money, and all of a sudden some gamblers got to them and said, hey, we could pay you X, Y, and Z if you would throw just one game of the World Series, and they all got busted, including Shoeless Joe Jackson. It was never quite nailed down about how much he actually
knew about it, participated. Yes. Because you look at the numbers that he hit. Well, if he was terrible, if he considered his batting average, he had the second highest batting average in history.
And he could have been an all-time great and wound up playing nowhere. These minor, these semi-pro leagues.
Well, I know you covered this guy, Art Sleester. Remember, He had a for real
addiction.
He had a for real gambling problem because they kick him out, he come back, get kicked out again.
Do it again.
If I'm not mistaken, he might be in the big house again for the same thing.
He was a first-round draft pick as a quarterback out of
Ohio State. Yes.
Okay. Look, we're talking about the very integrity and credibility of the game you play.
That's all you got if you're a sports franchise.
That's all you got, because the ultimate nightmare would be if some kid in that locker room, one of those players, got in trouble with gamblers, got into gambling debt, and a gambler said, hey, have I got a deal for you?
Yeah.
If you will, especially, it would help if it's a quarterback or somebody who touches the football.
Yes, a wide receiver or running back.
Good. You need to fumble it. You need to drop the pass. You need to do this to make sure that the spread stays under X. Can you do that? Yeah, I can do that for you. A running back could. I'll fumble 3 times. I'll just lose the handle and I'll take the hit, and with the media, it'll be okay. We'll stay under whatever the spread is. Okay. The NFL keeps saying that. Here's the quote from one of their spokespeople: "We have seen no evidence of game manipulation to date." So that's their greatest fear. And with all of these busts where they've busted, there's now 6 players just this season, going into this season,
Skip, every time like an official misses a call or something doesn't go their way, the first thing they say, Jerry Jones played the official, the official's on the tape. Skip, when people at home watching, they got to believe what they're seeing is on the up and up. Because if they don't, you got pro wrestling. It's really that simple, Skip. I wish I could give it to you any other way, but when the people at home, they've got to believe is that guy talent trumped that guy talent. That's why the play went that way, or it didn't go that way.
Okay.
Any other way.
Thank you. Isaiah Rodgers allegedly bet mostly $50 or $100 on games, but he did bet, the report says, on his own team, the Colts.
He should get thrown out for like 5 years.
Okay.
For being dumb.
Okay, for being dumb. The problem with betting on, there was one wager, but they're not specifying what it was on. But there was one bigger wager that was 4 figures, so over $1,000 was bet on one game, but it's not specifying whether that was on the Colts. Also not specified, were you betting for or against the Colts? Because it's possible, if you know of an injury because you're on the team and you know that the quarterback's banged up or whoever it might be, and you decide, oh, because I got inside knowledge of this, I'm going to bet against us to cover.
Well, considering they only won a handful of games, he a damn fool if he ever bet with them. He should have bet with them. If he bet, he should have bet against them, and he'd have won.
Okay.
Skip, this is not something like some obscure rule like, man, I ain't know. Skip, I ain't know you could. Man, I ain't know we couldn't bet on the NFL game.
You knew.
Really, dude?
Yeah, of all the things you know,
that's number one.
Yes.
for these young kids here. They swear they know so much. They so smart and so dumb.
Yeah.
That's what social media, and social media is a good, but Skip, these guys, everybody think they're smart. Everybody is going to be able to do something, create something, and get away with it. What makes you think in the 100+ year history that all of a sudden you're going to come in and say, you know what, I'm going to be able to bet on the NFL, there ain't nobody going to know nothing.
Yeah. I also have news for not only Isaiah Rodgers, but for any NFL players who think they can bet and beat spreads consistently. You cannot.
Can't.
Trust me, you cannot. Just because you play, just because you think you have inside knowledge, you can't beat it consistently.
What I said, man, I bet on the game because the game by 20, they take all the starters out, and next thing you know, the game was a 10-point spread. All of a sudden, it's down to 6 because they done took the starters out with 2 minutes to go, and the team done went on a run, and now I done lost, and I'm mad.
How many times have I beaten you with what they call a backdoor cover, right? Where the game's out of hand and all of a sudden, what?
Somebody get a lucky touchdown or a field goal skip, and all of a sudden, man, I'm winning the whole game. Got this in the bag. I get this due, and here we come. You lose the game. You don't care about that, but you beat me out of the due. Skip, but why? I mean, what makes you think, Skip, you're going to win, you're going to know. You see Drake or Floyd Mayweather showing a ticket where he won $5.4 million.
Yeah.
But in order to win $5.4 million, you had to have lost something along the way.
Trust
you
me.
ain't just winning no 5.4.
Trust
he show all the winning. He ain't show them losing tickets.
No.
But he been 25-50. Now he gone for a year. So now how you gonna feed your kids?
Okay, and they're trying to keep this airtight because they don't want the trainer selling information, because how many times did the trainer know how beat up Shea was?
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
You're beat up, you got a knee going into the Super Bowl against Atlanta, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what if he divulges this and somehow it impacts, he sells the...
That's why they try to do the injury report so everybody know what's going on.
Let's just
put it out there.
Transparent.
Right. Man, Skip, I just don't get it. I just don't get what's the game? Your end game, so what's the game? You could bet on, I'm assuming you can probably bet on golf or you can bet on other things, but why would you bet on the sport that you're playing? Sometimes just the mention of impropriety is enough to change the public's perception. So now you see, I knew it. What I tell you, I knew something was on the up and up, and you can't tell me this team, Skip, wasn't it his team that had a 30-something point lead? Yeah. See, now everybody finna call that into question. Oh. You see how what he just did?
They did. I forgot about that.
33, they had a lead, right? Mm-hmm. Now everybody about to call it.
Was it on the Vikings?
On Vikings.
Yes, on the Vikings.
And just like that. Because everybody's like, man, ain't no way. Ain't no way you got a 33-point lead. All you got to do is
Kirk Cousins? Huh, interesting.
Now
that makes me wonder about that game.
Of course. Of course.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.